The Foundation for India and Indian Diaspora Studies convened Indian American activists, students, business leaders, and community organizers in Washington, D.C. to discuss key issues affecting the Indian diaspora and the future of India US relations. Delegates from 25 states met with members of Congress to advocate on issues including immigration reform, trade, technology cooperation, Indo Pacific security, and strengthening bilateral ties between the United States and India. Speakers highlighted the achievements of nearly 5 million strong Indian American community members while stressing that economic success must be accompanied by greater civic participation and political engagement to increase the community's influence in Washington.
But beyond that, 1 out of every 7 doctors is a desi. 60% of all hotel rooms are owned by a desi. 27 of the last 34 spelling bee champions was a desi. I was not one of them. But you know how you spell success? D-E-S-I, desi. And so I just want to say, congratulations, you have arrived. However, we must also mention one thing, which is that even with your success, now we're facing new challenges. New challenges. There is the rise of anti-Hindu, anti-Indian, anti-Desi hate. Am I right about that? The other day, a Florida elected official called for me to be deported. I'm not going anywhere. Are you? No. None of us are going anywhere. And that hate, that bigotry, that prejudice, that discrimination that are directed at you and your families and me and all of us has no place in America. Am I right about that?
To start now, my office is here to help. If you guys want involvement in your local congressional office or want to be involved in mine, I'm here. But thank you so much for being here, for your advocacy. You have a champion in Congress in me. Thank you.
He and I had a great conversation about the strength of India and United States relationship, and I promised that I will continue to work to strengthen our collaboration in technology and defense in every aspect of these two great countries. India is essential to the United States to challenge the advances China is making, and we want a U.S. India strong relationship counters China's aggression. So I think it is extremely important that the soon to be the 3rd largest economy in the world, India, to have the best relationships here in the two countries.
Georgia, where I'm from, is home to more than 180,000 Indian Americans. Their ties with India are more than just spiritual. They are economic ties as well. Prime Minister Modi admonishes them regularly to prosper and to thrive in the United States, but never forget your ties to India. Indian Americans are having a profound impact here in the United States as lawyers, doctors, scientists, entrepreneurs, artists, architects. And I've been especially grateful for the opportunity that I've had to work with the Consulate General of India in Atlanta.
The U.S. and India have worked together to promote a free and open Indo-Pacific, to counter coercion and aggression from the People's Republic of China, to strengthen critical supply chains, to advance cooperation on emerging technologies such as AI, and to deepen defense cooperation. This partnership has also played a critical role in advancing regional stability through counterterrorism operations, maritime security, peacekeeping efforts, and growing economic ties.
My single best lobbying success was talking to Prime Minister Modi on his trip in 2023. We not only got him to speak to the joint session of Congress for the 2nd time, but I had a chance to speak to him on 3 different occasions. And you might think I would have dealt with the great issues of war and peace and international security. No, I had one message. India must have a consulate in Los Angeles. And by God, we're there to open up the Indian consulate in Los Angeles.
The U.S. India relationship is one of the most important partnerships in the world. Our nations are really proud of that. Our nations are united by shared democratic values, a commitment to freedom, entrepreneurship, innovation, and the belief that hard work creates opportunity. But partnerships between countries are only as strong as the people who build them. Across northeastern Pennsylvania and throughout our nation, Indian Americans are making extraordinary contributions in medicine, education, business, technology, and public service.
There are great opportunities that exist in front of us that we have to operationalize. And you know, I had a great meeting the other day with the American Chamber of Commerce in India, and we talked about things like technology, about healthcare, about national defense, about financial services. There's so many opportunities there. You heard a little bit of conversation too about the things that our countries need to do to an even deeper level, economically and strategically.
Today I want to talk about several different things, and eventually we need to talk about our trade deficit. But it's so important, the people is what I'm trying to get. It's important to my farmers back home. It's important to the Indian American physician that works out in my hometown of Great Bend, Kansas, and it's important to the entrepreneur in Wichita, the engineer in Kansas City, and the family that came here with just a suitcase and a work ethic to build something extraordinary.
We started with supply chain resiliency in Indo-Pacific region. We discussed about Indo-US relations. We also discussed about critical minerals, the importance of the critical minerals, because it is 80% of the critical minerals are controlled by resources and everything by China. And it has the huge impact on technology, defense, space for the world, but most importantly from US point of view. So there is a lot of initiatives there. Track Silica is there, that President Trump and administration have invested heavily, almost like a 10 billion into that. Also brought the framework of Track Silica, bringing different countries together. However, our interest was that the Congress has a bill, both Senate and House, which actually predates to Track Silica, and it is kind of framework for Track Silica, but that needs to be codified.
What the Indian American community has contributed and the important relationship that we have, whether it's on trade, defense, energy, it's really unlimited. And so I have my colleagues here especially from the Embassy of India, and we're meeting constantly, taking stock of the relationship, where we need to move the ball forward, and it's been a very, very productive. But when you look across and you just look at, for example, our companies, I mean, these leaders, the Indian American leaders in US companies, Microsoft, Google, IBM, Adobe, I mean, they are playing key roles in advancing America's economic progress. It's undeniable. You look at the administration, we have senior officials throughout agencies, FBI, National Institute of Health, and of course our second lady, who are contributing greatly to current policy and the future.
The year that has gone by and what we've managed to build together over the last year shows us the resilience of the partnership and the fact that despite differences in perspective and position on a few issues, what has held this together is the importance of the endeavor and the strength and resilience of the partnership that has been acquired over 2 decades of commitment and vision and investment in what I often describe as one of the most important strategic endeavors that India has undertaken with any country across our history. And the depth of this engagement has helped us to further advance on the bilateral agenda. The reality, I believe, is that there is a lot that brings us together and that makes us stronger together. And that is the reality, and that is the vision that continues to guide us in our work here at the Embassy.
I'm encouraged by Ambassador Gore's vision for the relationship as we deepen bilateral cooperation through the Trust Initiative and in multilateral fora such as the Quad and Pax Silica. where we have strengthened interoperability in technology, maritime security, and supply chain resilience. This is a great start, but of course, much work remains. This partnership is not only about security, it's people-to-people ties because our nations are extraordinary.